Dando início, então, às nossas atividades, eu gostaria de chamar para a primeira apresentação o Dr. Kin Ping Tsang. O Dr. Kin Ping Tsang, de Hong Kong, é presidente da Aliança, da Aliança das Organizações de Pacientes, uma entidade que envolve várias associações de pacientes, totalizando um número de 200 milhões de pacientes abaixo dessa federação. O Dr. Tsang é uma pessoa que é um paciente, ele se tornou cérebro e tem contribuído, é um executivo, e tem contribuído ativamente para falar da importância do paciente no desenvolvimento de novas terapêuticas. Dr. Tsang, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, may I extend my heartfelt thankfulness to the organizer to invite me to this high-quality and meaningful conference. It's really my honor and privilege. I am based in Hong Kong, where is the Special Administrative Region of People's Republic of China. However, I represent neither my country nor the dynamic city I am living. Today, in my capacity of chair of the International Alliance of Patient Organizations, I would like to make an introduction to the Global Patient Alliance, its vision and mission, and the concepts and principles of patient-centered healthcare, the globalization of healthcare and the global patient movement, as well as our major concern issues on clinical trials and some conclusions. As I'm blind, so I need help from the colleague. And the IAPO was established in 1999 as a unique global patients alliance. It is now registered in the United Kingdom as a charity. Our office is also in London, United Kingdom. Right now, we have over 200 member organizations, over 60 countries around the world, crossing over 50 disease areas. The member organizations of IAPO are local, national, regional, and international patient organizations. IAPO's vision is patients are at the center of healthcare. To achieve our vision, we are working by the following methods. The first one is to realize the patient's network and building up their capacity. Just in last month, we had a Latin America patient regional workshop in Mexico City. Over 20 patient organizations in this region, from Brazil, from Argentina, from Chile, from Colombia, Guatemala, and Mexico, whose delegates taking part in this regional workshop. The major topics we worked on in this workshop were the non-communicable diseases, healthcare technology assessment, HTA, and biomedicine and biosimilars. As well, earlier this year in May, we had a workshop for the patient organizations around the world on biomedicine and biosimilars in Geneva. Over 20 patient organizations from every continental had attended this workshop. The second is to make patients' voice heard and influence on the international policy debate platform and the international healthcare policy making. IAPO has attended the executive boards of World Health Organization in January this year to take part in the agenda setting works. We successfully to put forward the agenda of combat the counterfeit medicines by all the states of WHO member organizations. As well, in the consultation paper, IAPO opined that the patient organizations should be involved in the prioritization of innovation of medicinal products. The third one is we collaborate with all like-minded stakeholders in the healthcare sector. That includes the government officials, government decision makers, the healthcare professionals, the service providers, the industry, and the academics. IAPO has formal relationship with the World Health Organization. We have good cooperation with the World International Healthcare Professional Bodies, such as the World Medical Association, the International Council of Nurses, the Federation of International Pharmacists, the International Federation of Hospitals, etc. The next. I now share the concepts of patient-centered healthcare. The terminology patient-centered healthcare are being spread out in the past years by different parties in the healthcare sector, including WHO, some institutions, and some patient organizations. For IAPO, we have made consultations among our member organizations and released the Declaration on Patient-Centered Healthcare in year 2006. We define the concepts of patient-centered healthcare by patient organizations. What is patients? Patients is human. Patients has different needs and individual preferences. They have abilities to make some self-management on the disease, and also they have abilities to take part in the policy discussion and debate. So, the essence of patient-centered healthcare is that the healthcare system is designed and delivered to meet the needs and preferences of patients. We recognize the individual needs and preferences of patients. As well, we respect to their abilities to take part in the healthcare service and policies and recognize their limits. So, and now I share the 5 principles of patient-centered healthcare defined by the IAPO. The first is respect. All patients and their caregivers should be respected in the healthcare sector. Likely, now we are talking clinical research. The clinical research process, including before, throughout the process, and after, should respect the patients and their caregivers. The second principle is empowerment and choice. Patients and their caregivers should be empowered and should be encouraged to make their own choice on the healthcare protocols together with their healthcare professionals. The third principle is patient involvement. Patients should be involved at all levels and all points in the healthcare sector, including decision-making, planning, service implementation, monitoring, supervision, etc. And the fourth is that patients should have the right to access to treatment and care which are quality, safe, and appropriate. And the last principle is information. Patients and their caregivers should be given relevant, accurate, and comprehensive information about their health that would be enable them to make their own choice on the healthcare protocols, as well to encourage patients and the caregivers to make change in the healthcare sector. Now, we are under a period of globalization. That's the same as in healthcare. The public healthcare issues are global, such as the HIV and the non-communicable diseases. As to the figures from WHO, NCDs accounts 60% to 80% of death in developing and developed countries. So this is a common issue wherever you are. As well, the healthcare industry is multinational. We can see all big pharmaceutical companies and medical device companies are not operate in single country. Their operations are spread over all the continents and many countries. As well, the healthcare policy are debated and made up internationally, such as the issue of critical research, the approach on improve of quality and the critical practice. And the progress in technology, in science, and in medicine are internationally. That will create some issues in ethics. And on the other hand, that will also create opportunities in innovation. And lastly, most stakeholders in the healthcare sector are organized internationally, and they are also seek to influence the sector internationally. So it is also important for the patients have a global voice around the world. The next one. And the patients organizations such as IAPO, IAPO, because we can contribute the perspectives and thoughts from the national and regional patient organizations to the global platform. So in return, the global healthcare policies and the policies debated in the WHO can affect the national and local healthcare policies in return. As well, when the patient organizations everywhere go into an alliance, we will share our knowledge, information, and experience each other, and to make better collaboration with our stakeholders. Okay. I'm now showing you the policy priorities of IAPO. Of course, in the healthcare sector, there are many policy issues. To IAPO, the first one we are concerned is the access to health, access to treatment and care. We are now talking about the universal health coverage. The major issues are the equity of care, the cost of care, the available of treatments, research and developments, as well as the regulatory environment. The second is the patient engagement. We see in most countries, patient engagement is not a reality, but only rhetoric. Patient engagement is not institutionalized in many countries. It is only the goodwill of some management level people. So this is an important issue, because if we wish to reform and to improve our healthcare sector, healthcare systems, patients should not be ignored. Their participation and involvement is important to make the progress of the healthcare systems. And the third is that we look for the concerted efforts on patient safety, from the avoidable medical errors to the proliferation of counterfeit medicines, substandard medicines, and other patient safety issues. And another issue we are concerned is the quality communication and information in their self-management of their own health. Of course, clinical research is also another important issue that IAPO concerns. In general, the patient organizations support clinical research. We know the clinical research is the gateway to innovation that may help millions of patients who are not treatable yet. Myself is a patient of retinitis pigmentosa, which is a genetic eye disease. I have no drugs or medical procedures for treat or control my disease up to this moment. So I totally understand the importance of clinical research. And the ultimate issue on clinical research concerned by the patient organizations is how to handle science and human. The first issue IAPO concerns is the rights and welfare of patients participating in. Okay. I'm sorry. First of all, I introduced what IAPO is doing on the about the clinical research. And IAPO has released a briefing paper on pediatric disease and clinical research in year 2006. The paper was objected to equip patient organizations to understand the surrounding specific issues in developing of pediatric medicines and patients' participation in the trials, especially the children. The paper was aimed at to let the patient organizations and the parents have enough facts, and we have an overview to summarize the regulation, ethics, and social issues among the developing of pediatric medicines and clinical research, and the risks and benefits of patients, especially the children who participate in the clinical research. As well, IAPO has participated in the European Medicine Agency on different working groups on clinical research. We are the member of EMA working group on clinical research in the third country. As well, IAPO has responded to the revision made to the Declaration of Helsinki. Just we heard yesterday that the revision has been approved by the World Medical Association just a few days ago. As well, IAPO has given its endorsement to the All Trials campaign. The campaign is to call for all clinical trials to be registered and all results to be publicized. And I have just touched about the issues of clinical research and patients. And the first is the rights and welfare of patients should be protected. And to enable this, quality information about clinical research is necessary. That includes the information before the trial, throughout the trial process, and after. Without the quality information on clinical trials, informed consent is not possible, especially the well-informed consent. And another issue is the vulnerable groups. We have to consider the needs of these vulnerable groups and give specific consideration on case-by-case basis according to the special needs of these vulnerable groups. And full involvement by patients in clinical research is also an important issue. The involvement should be included in design of the trial and how to gain the informed consent and how to make the results published and communicated. And as well, transparency of the clinical research is also an important issue. And without the transparency of the results of the clinical research, the healthcare decision makers and the professionals cannot make the best choice for patients. As well, the patients cannot make best choice on their healthcare and treatment together with the healthcare professionals. I'm now talking the key policies we asked in clinical research. The first is that the patient organizations involved in the ethics committee is important, and that will enable the clinical research to go smoothly. As well, if the patients are engaged in the ethics committee, the informed consent will be in better quality because the design of the trial and all the process will be known by the patient organizations. As well, another policy is to strengthen the protection of vulnerable groups. And another important we propose is the access to treatment post-trials. Because the patient subjects are undergoing the risk of the trials, so that they should have the right to access to the treatment after the trial. The last one is the transparency that I have talked about on the prior slide. Of course, while we advocate for the transparency, but it should not become at the expense of a patient's privacy, especially for the orphan drugs clinical research. The data should not be released with the identifiable of the patient's data. In conclusion, the patients and patients' organizations make a contribution to reshaping and redesign the healthcare system to provide high quality, safe, and appropriate healthcare. Patients should be involved in the healthcare system at all levels and all points, and the healthcare system should be responsive to the genuine needs and preferences of the patients. To achieve patient-centered healthcare, we should have the approach based on strong value of respect, partnership, and equity. I hope I have introduced the IAPO and our concerns on clinical research today. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.